Hey teens, Christy here, coming at you with book number 3 in the Native American month story, or breeds. That's words. Okay, so the next one, not gonna lie, kind of took me a while to get through, but I'll let you all be the judge of that. So the next book I have is If I Ever Get Out of Here. So this one is about Lewis, who I believe is actually in like 7th, 8th grade, but the content is a little bit more YA, so I think that's why I have it in my YA collection than I do in junior fic. But Lewis, this was set also in 1970s, so there's a huge culture difference already there. So Lewis is going to a school that's a little bit off the reservation, but not only is he doing that, but he's also the only Native American in his smart kids class. So not only is he not with the other reservation kids, he's also on his own where he's already kind of, not really welcome by the other students because the parents always tell him, "Oh, if you get bad, we're going to send you off to the reservation where they're dirt poor and they don't get anything and everything's pretty much all handed to them and all that." So kids don't really already like him because they hear bad stories about the reservation, and he doesn't really get along with any of the kids on the reservation because he's too smart. So there's already that difference. So when a new kid, George, moves in and decides to become his friend, in this next year, he kind of jumps on that chance. And he hasn't really had a white friend before, so everything he does is pretty much new. And not only does he have a new white friend, he also realizes he has to hide his reservation life from him. So this whole story, um, it does have a lot of toxic masculinity in it. Because it's set in the 70s, and a lot of it is like, I'm a man. I gotta do this because I'm a man of the family, or things like that. And there are a couple of times where I wanted to throw the book because of their viewpoint on everything. Even George's dad. So George also lives lives on the a military base. So even then, he's kind of used to jumping around, not really making friends and all that. But when they introduced his father, even his father had like, you know, oh, I need help taking off my shoes, so take my shoes off for me, or I gotta do this and that. And it was very kind of cringeworthy as I read it. I'm not gonna lie, I got really upset reading a lot of the male characters because it just annoyed me so much. But I also want to talk about it because it's one of the rare YA books. I don't want to say rare YA books, but kind of rare, where the character is male, and it gives a certain viewpoint of like male characters and teenagers and things like that. So I really want to talk about it, but I also want to talk about the really bad toxic masculinity in it, and I hope when you read it, you recognize it. Like you recognize this was bad. That just because it's set in the 70s doesn't make it okay. I will also say though that this book had a lot of great music references, whether it was the Beatles, Queen, Wings. I feel like there's another one that I can't remember, but it had a lot of great music references. I think even the titles, like the title of the chapters, were also titles of like a certain album. Yes, they listened to albums back then. I mean, well, they of course they do, but like like records and things like that. So it was kind of interesting to read that, and I really enjoyed it's like, oh, this new song came out. Oh, David Bowie was another one. Ah, the great part with David Bowie where like Lewis listened to David Bowie and he's trying to tell his friend George about, and George is like, the guy who wears dresses on stage and wears the makeup. Yeah. Yes, David Bowie. Uh, Questioning gender culture since 1970 something. Oh, I love it. It was so good. Um, so if you really want to listen, if you really want a great book about, um, a great book about like awesome music references, I totally recommend this one. But also know that Life on a Reservation for this one wasn't as great as, say, Apple in the Middle. This one really showcased, kind of like the poor aspect of it. Lewis's home is starting to fall apart and they can't afford it. Can't afford to like fix it. So like there's literally a hole in their kitchen where snow drifts in. So it kind of almost shows the negative side of the reservation, which I don't want to say that's true now. I have no idea. I've never been to one and I'm not about to, I don't, nope. I'm not getting into that. I don't know and I haven't been. And I hope somebody does make a comment to say, like, this is how it is now. I would love to know. I know that there are teens on TikTok talking about their life on the reservation. I can't wait to watch those. So I'm just going to say this one talks about that aspect of living on the reservation. Not sure how it is now. Not going to question it. Not going to do anything. But so if you want to read an interesting view of the reservation in the 1970s and also get some great music references, make sure you check out If I Ever Get Out of Here. There is an ebook and an audiobook, so I will put the links there in the description below. Make sure you check those out. And also make sure you check out some of the other awesome videos that the other librarians are doing in the library. So give us a like, subscribe, and check out our channel. Make sure you also check out our Facebook page to get any more updates about the library, any other events that are happening, and everything else that we'd like to talk about here at the Frankfort Public Library. That's all I have for this video, and I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Bye!